Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders soaring to victory in the battle for the Badger State. So did the polls get it right? Some of them did. Let's talk to Larry Sabato, the director for the University of Virginia Center for Politics. He's gloating a little bit this morning because his crystal ball predicted that Donald Trump will get 35% in Wisconsin. Larry, we're going to go to the tote board. You were right on the nose. How'd you do it?
Well, we use demographics instead of polls, for one thing. You know, we're at the point in this contest, in this GOP contest, and even the Democratic one, where we have a pretty good idea of which groups from state to state vote for which candidate. And if you plug in the numbers of the percentages from each of those demographic groups, you can come reasonably close to the percentage that each candidate is expected to get. And Trump got exactly what he was expected to get, and we'll do the same thing for forthcoming primaries.
Okay, so meanwhile, let's go over on the Democratic side. Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton by close to 13% as well. You saw this coming, too.
Yes, well, Wisconsin was going to be, I think, inevitably a good state for Bernie Sanders. It's perfect for him. It's very substantially white on the Democratic side. The voters on the Democratic side are very liberal. There's even a socialist tradition in some of the cities there. You know that, Steve. You've looked into living in some of those cities for that very reason. Yes.
Yeah, funny. This is a, you know, as Hillary Clinton wakes up, this is a bad spell for her. She has lost 7 of the last contests to the socialists from Vermont, and she's supposed to be the, you know, the one who was a slam dunk.
You know, I assume that somebody in her campaign is analyzing why it is that with all her advantages, she cannot shake a 74-year-old socialist. This is bad news. Now, in addition to that, and I think this is the really important point, it's not that he's going to get the nomination. Steve, right. He's not. No. She is. But here's the question. The more delegates that he gets, the more primaries that he wins, the more demands this large group of Sanders delegates is going to make before and at the convention. Demands for platform planks. I've already heard some of the Sanders delegates are going to insist that Sanders be the vice presidential candidate. How's she going to deal with this? Is she going to leave Philadelphia limping or with somehow a united party? And it's a big problem.
Absolutely, that's a problem, because she would never make him the vice president, not in a million years. Meanwhile, Larry, let's look ahead to New York. This is where Bernie Sanders was born here. Hillary Clinton is a former senator from here, although she's really from another state, Arkansas and also Illinois. But this is where Donald Trump was born, and this is where he got famous and made all his money.
Yeah, we have all of these homegrown candidates coming in New York, and my guess is that Clinton will end up beating Sanders. On the Republican side, I think it's just a question of the margin by which Trump wins. Our early projections are that he will get over 50% of the vote and be able to get all those delegates. But Cruz has got new momentum coming out of Wisconsin. Can it last 2 weeks? You know, this has been a ping-pong battle all along, and it probably will continue to be. Plus, in our age, 2 weeks is an eternity.
Sure.
You know, this crazy race, there are bound to be other things that happen in between this primary that happened last night and New York's in 2 weeks.
Right. And Larry, real quickly, you know, it does look as if Donald Trump may fall short of that 1, 2, 3, 7 number of delegates, which means it's going to be let's make a deal in the weeks before the convention.
And you just said what a lot of analysts forgot to say last night and this morning. We're focusing now on the 6 weeks between the end of the primaries, June 7th, and the beginning of the Republican convention on July 18th. In my view, that's when the decision's going to be made.
That's right.
Delegates that are unpledged will be wooed. Deals will be made. That's shocking, I know. And maybe tickets will be formed. That may be how some delegates are moved.
Stand by for the wooing. All right, Larry Sabato joining us live from Virginia. Larry, thank you very much.